This is part two. This is actually a check-in. This was my birthday to-do list. I had a past of having from my birthday in October all the way into past the new year being really hard after leaving abusive, toxic people. And before that, it was still hard because it was single parenting from 2004 on. And before that, when I had my kids, my ex did not help with my kids. He never ever changed a diaper. I don't think if there was a fussy baby or something needed to be changed or fixed at night, I don't think he ever did it. Um, I don't think he ever. Um, he took my daughter to a movie once, and he made the kids mac and cheese once. Um, he so-called babysat them a couple times when I went to work, but he'd come home and the toddlers and baby would be unattended, and he'd be just asleep or in the room on the computer. Like I couldn't do it anymore. I started to take my kids to work, or school. I couldn't stand to think that they were going to be looking like some tweaker babies out in the street with diapers on wandering 6 miles because their dad is on porn, Like, I was really scared. Like, I couldn't, like, because we used to play out in the backyard all the time. So, obviously, like, even dogs, a kid, especially my kids, they would know how to unlatch the little lock on the freaking back door. It wouldn't take much to wander around. Alright, so this is my list. This is part two. One, go to a meeting at Lionel Club 1 hour earlier, 1 hour stay, and read downstairs. Now, we used to do that as a family. I found out last time I went, maybe I hadn't been till 2016. I probably went this year or last year to Sunday morning meeting. I ended up getting there on time, thank God. I felt in my heart to go early, and they said, oh, by the way, pay for a parking pass or pay to park. I said, oh, crap. I've been going there since 2004, and there was no pay to park, and the parking lot next door was overflow parking. There was no pay to park, and then sometimes there's a bunch of meetings at the same time, and the other place is a synagogue, temple place, and there was a time I drove around for a really long time, late, I think it was for 7:30, 7 o'clock meeting, and I did have to park in the street, but I think because I was late for the meeting, it might have been an hour. I think it was an hour parking. I don't think, it might have been 2 hours. So yeah, just enough time to go in and get myself together and come back out. 1 hour is not long enough. But yeah, I don't even know what the street parking is like. It's so crowded in the Pearl District. So I did go to a meeting there 2 weeks ago on Saturday at 5:30 because my kid got a ride after work. Typically, I'm rushing from my job at 4:30 to her, so I was able to do that meeting. But I had to run down and go figure out my parking situation. So now if I do that, sit there and read, I would need to go ahead and pay or find a 2 hour street parking. And it would be less than an hour because the meeting is an hour and it takes a while to walk too hard. So that needs to be. So we'll write on the side pay. And I could spend $25, the guy said, for a year pass. And I'm not sure, like, if it costs $2 to $4 to park for a meeting, and I was going to go, so let's just say it was $5 a meeting. If I was going to go 5 times that year, or if I was going to go more than 5 times, I haven't been going more than 5 times. The thing is, I'm missing my home group because I got harassed and nobody did anything. Nobody did anything to deal with the harassment. So, this smells really good. Wow, that smells good. I never noticed how good that smelled. It smells like kind of a fall spice. My old sponsor gave me this in 2016 or 2017. I think it was 2017. But I had felt that she was not reliable. And it was really sad because it was also one of those people that you can't call and say, you told me to call at least twice a week, but every time I call, you don't answer, you don't return messages, and you tell me if it's an emergency, tell you it's an emergency, I need to talk within 24 hours, and I've had, like, pretty much no returns of any kind, and a few return, like, messages was like, oh, it's 6:15, I just woke up for work, like, I thought of you, I'm like, dude, it's too early. Like, when I was in school and doing other type of jobs, 6:15 was like, yeah, you better set an alarm. But it got to be nighttime working, and I was like, that's not a good time to call. To go to a participation speaker group Monday, or I think there's a Saturday. So there's a Saturday in Lake Oswego. It might be Sunday. I think it's Saturday. The Monday, I had a couple of Mondays. I think I was supposed to be off. I actually had to work anyway. They gave me a day off because I thought I was tired and I didn't ask for it. The only times I ask for days off on Monday is when I have another job. But now they're trying to have me close, so they can't just have a regular cook. So that's disturbing because now I'm going to have to do double shifts. Like go to one job for 6 hours and go to another job for 6 hours. But I wrote in Saturday because that means Monday might not work. But yeah, there's holidays and weird things coming up. See what's up. Okay, sit in library 1 hour Tuesday. That was supposed to be a couple weeks, 5 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I went to the library a couple of times to get books and stuff, but I didn't sit there. So that still needed to be, all this stuff still needs to be done. Bring some charts and go to the office and sit for 1 or 2 hours and clean and do stuff. I have gone to the office for an hour last week or the week before because I needed to do the, I'm burning this incense. I just got a new one here. It smells so good. I am scared to get another scent. And I have a Nag Champa. My daughter has a Nag Champa. That was super sweet. We have another Nag Champa, the Indian one. The blue box. We have a newer one, I think an older one. So I don't know what it is. When I was in med school, we couldn't use any scents. But before med school, I was using all kinds of aromatherapy. Mostly to, like, medicate my kids with essential oils or prevent hair lice and stuff. Like topical. 5, coffee shop. So I was supposed to go. And then 6, I'm supposed to find a place, sit down, eat a salad with avocado sea salt. I haven't done that. I mean, it's hard to say when you're at work, instead of going to my car, sitting in deli at the grocery store. That's not really, like, it's like kind of like mandatory. You know, like, it's like I have to sit somewhere or stand somewhere or walk around for half an hour. I mean, if I just, like, tomorrow, I had to be somewhere at 12:30. Like, if I decided to say, my kid's going to work at 11:30, let's say I decided to go to the library for 45 minutes, or the deli, the grocery store, and I went and got a salad and bought an avocado and sat there, and I'm not working yet. If that's the case tomorrow, I'd probably drop my kid off if I had time, come home, and try to make my son something to eat. Like that, or like laundry or something. But I basically, my life is so ridiculous, I just squeeze stuff in. And if I work for 4 or 5 weeks in a row, I'm going to need to rest. I always have this long to-do list. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and this. And there's urgent stuff that needs to be done. It's not getting done. Like voting. I lost the ballots. I got to find them in my house. On 7, go to the People's early and sit. Okay, I went to People's once last week, and I'm not. I've never sat at their tables. There's usually only, I think there's one, there's 2, I think there's 2 tables. And there's a bench outside. I've never just sat there. There was this couple doing yoga in the middle of the sidewalk. and they had their shoes and socks off on the ground, and they were doing yoga. And I'm walking up the sidewalk, and I'm like, that's weird. It's none of my business. And they just kind of like looked at me, like, give me the eye, and I'm like, it's because I'm black. Are you scared? I'm like so mad. And I was just like, I don't mind walking in the street. I mean, this is super crowded, like tight neighborhood. Like, you're busy. I'm not, like, if I get up to them and they're still like that, I was walking the street, no biggie. But yeah, they end up like moving out of the way. But in my mind, I'm just like unless me and my kids are like, oh, take a picture of this, or let's look at this tree or this flower. Like, in my mind, I just feel like it was weird that they were blocking the entire sidewalk. Like, it wasn't like they put their shoes in the grass, or there's like another walkway that goes, I think, through this archway next to the banana tree, and then I think it goes into the back of where the store is, like a back entrance. Um, like a walking, I think there's like a garage, oh, it might be the neighbor's garage. I think it's like, I went there before for something, like where the trucks go to unload, one of the, like the back door entrance so that you can, um, where the big grocery stores do. They get deliveries to the back entrance, right? Freight. So I was like, oh, they could have just stood, put their shoes over there, and stood side by side on the sidewalk, and they just walked by. But it was almost like they didn't. It was almost like they were more moving because they were scared of me, not to be considerate, not just to be like, oh yeah, we're walking the sidewalk. But I see people sitting in the middle of the aisle on their phones, and I was that person today because I had to do my work report because I forgot to do it yesterday. Really bad. This guy is trying to. So what is it with guys trying to meld you together when you don't even know each other? I'm like, dude, do you not need to meet me and see? Like, I could be the worst punk. I want to say the B word, but I'm like, I could be like the most filthy, stanky, ghetto. Like some people want ghetto, and maybe that's why they choose me because I'm black and they think they want some sass. But I'm like, how do you know that I'm just like not a jerk? Like, seriously, like it's like they see this crappy picture of me, and it's either that they think that I would be easy to manipulate. I seriously have the worst pictures online, and it's almost like I might be attracting people that think they can control me because they think that I'm desperate. But then I'm like, or they think, oh, look at this ugly B word. Look, I think I could get in her pants tonight. Like, I have a feeling that that's what it is. Um, the pictures are just basic, and the profile is really long and in depth in details. I don't know. It's kind of like this guy's music. I don't like. He's talking about some weird crap. I'm like, I like house. Like, I don't know what kind of crap. I've heard of dubstep, but I'm not really. He likes stuff with horns. I'm like, dude, I don't really. But I don't really like think about dating someone because we have the same music interest. Although there was one guy, that was like past music interest because it was kind of underground. Okay, sit in the park and chill. I would definitely chill right now because it's cold. So that's another thing. Even if I don't know what day of the week, if I had to be going to work, I'd have to go. I would be able to sit in the park. It might be wet, so I'd have to like sit on a towel and just sit there, maybe read a book. Because I didn't put a time limit on that, so that could be like 15 minutes. Some of this stuff, a lot of this stuff, who's Jeff? Who the heck are these people, guys? Oh my god, I wasn't supposed to say anybody's name. I'm sure that there's a whole heck of a lot of people on online dating with that same name. What? This pop. Michael Jackson. For the rest of the day. Not sure where they are. What is that song? Atomic Dog. Guys, you know that? I don't really like that. Why must I take the cat? Is that the name of the song? Lyrics. Nasty Dog. I think this is a different song. Oh yeah, Bow Wow Wow Yippee. People used to help us move and stuff would disappear. I had a Jimi Hendrix record, like an original. It was so hard to hear, and it is gone. That would be one of like the most stupid things. But when you move a lot and you have inspections a lot, it gets to the point where you're like, can this be replaced or is it necessary now? And I don't have that mentality, so I don't have that normal mentality. People are like, oh, you don't need this, or oh, you need a spot for everything if you don't get rid of it. But some things you're like, dude, maybe that's something you want to just make a spot for, or like put it in a kitchen cabinet or something. Like, I don't know. It is what it is. Put a table outside, do a 1 hour photo shoot on eBay. No, I didn't do that. I'm not even taking pictures for eBay right now. That's my spot to hang clothes right here. And I had a little kind of setup for like shoes and stuff, but I don't know. I've been so overwhelmed. When I worked my vending job at Advantage, it was usually every weekend was usually 3 to 4 days a weekend, and then I'd work my clinic and use my tax return, and then I got on eBay and started making money that way. Just just a little bit here and there to help pay off electric bill, and I I started having to look at my bank account because a lot of the time that I was doing started eBay and doing my hours kept dropping at this sales and marketing job, and I my stomach is so fat right now, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like really scared. like 10 pounds heavier than I was in the beginning of summer. I'm like really freaked out. I don't know. Like I don't change my diet. I'm really freaking out. Besides if I'm always cold, that might have something to do with it. I had oh god, I just got freaked out about my fat stomach. It really distracted me. Let's go on. Go out with a guy. Oh yeah, eBay. I was using my daughter's money when I had lost my job. And she was just like, okay, I actually am saving up for something. So it sucks to like be like, oh, I worked the whole month, all like 30 plus hours, and now I have $12 every month to show for it. Like no, like so I had to get additional work. Because my hours just slipped right from under me for no reason. It lost vacation pay, and it's so sad because it's just like it just makes me feel like it's just like this people online looking for sex. It seems so disposable, you know. So you seem so like, and then you don't want to complain or ask for like for a guy. You're like, oh, I'm not just looking for a hookup with a stranger who could have like 10 STDs. Like, and you don't even care if I had STDs. Like, you're not, like, trying to ask me that. And then I get to this place where I'm like, the work, you're afraid to ask for more work, or you're afraid to ask for more money. Because then it's like, I feel like some jobs, they just separate you even more from the job. And then you just see other people taking your place. And I've had that happen. But then when you start feeling less value, your work is not as enthusiastic. And if you're being scrutinized like I am as a black female, you feel like your work is, like, you already feel like they already think you're not doing very well because of your skin color. And then it's like your customers and all the people are like, oh my god, you are by far, I'm like 75 years old and you have been the most polite, most intelligent, you do a good job at your job explaining the products. Oh my god, where can I write a review for you? You're so good. Like, you hear it personally and your boss never hears this. And then they give your job to somebody else and your customers call and complain to me, not that they can't get a hold of my boss. And they're like, oh my god, you should be fired. Oh my god, why are you not here? And not only that, you're doing such a good job and you're always here and you're trying to take care of your kids. Why is this loser? And you're just like, I don't know. Because she's blonde? I don't know. Ask the boss. Like, I appreciate what you say. And if I'm devalued, I can go elsewhere. But then you feel desperate for work, so then you start fighting over these minimum wage jobs. With 17 years of college. Okay, did I go through 12 yet? Number 12? No. 10, go out with the guy. We're gonna do this one. We're gonna do a redo on that one. So everything on here is incomplete. I did little bits of each one. Kind of. No, no, the park one. I ate salad in the car for breakfast this morning. No avocado. I gotta do the avocado cheese talk, guys. You heard it. Go out with a guy. I went out with that guy last Friday. The only guy I met from online dating. And he was a monster, so he wasn't a guy. And he wasn't a gentleman. And he was trying to get me to force him to. He goes, I want to take care of you, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't care. Like, why can't some of these guys that I'm attracted to that have similar interests and are polite be like that? Like, I think what it is, spontaneous. The only spontaneous thing I did was play a few records last weekend when I had the weekend off. Last weekend, 3 days off was a whole heck of a lot better than my birthday weekend. Birthday weekend was so bad. I think people think I have a problem. And people think if you get some crazy, tweaked out phone sex dude calling you and you didn't know they were, people are like, wow, you're crazy. They're like, why am I crazy? I dumped the guy. Like, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't say, oh, look at this profile. He's a phone sex tweaker. And then me get woke up all night and give him my personal number. Like, if I know that, when it's not. I'm not that much looking for a thrill. Like, maybe like 15, 17 years ago, I might have been like, I'm down, But now, no. Even if you're sober and you act like you're secure, that's way too much. It's way too much energy for me. Way too much horniness. Just, this guy had been tweaking. There's no way. I kept getting messages, babe, where are you? Why are you coming to my house? I was like, wouldn't it be nice if I had a nice fellow that I got to know, and it was appropriate time to call me babe, not some stranger off the internet. It's flattering in a way, but It's a stranger, so it's, especially that I put the worst pictures up online. Spontaneous along with others. Spontaneous event. I tried to get someone to go to a Halloween party with me last week. DJ Smile or something was playing, and I didn't get to go. When she couldn't go, and I was like, I don't know. I should have gone. Really. This other guy's waiting for my number. He has one picture, and he has nothing on his, and he's not my type. Like, I can be judged for my demographic, and people have a right. Like, you can still not be attracted to me or not like black people, but you can still treat someone like a human. There's certain guys that I'm just not attracted to, and I want to show some dignity, right? I don't know if I'm making myself clear. Oh my god. Why did I gain freaking 10 pounds? Oh my god. Some guys have the scariest pictures up. This guy has one, no glasses. Yeah, it looks cute. He's smiling. The second one, he's wearing sunglasses and a suit. So he looks like, Men in Black. In a creepy way. And this guy, the third one, is regular glasses. With the dog ears. And this one, he's kind of smiling. With glasses. But it's like a funny picture, but it's like, really? This guy has some personal. This guy has some personal. He seriously. How the heck did I get so fat, guys? Oh my god. This guy says he has a personal problem. I don't want to say like. I'm like. Somebody was like, are you okay after that car accident? I'm like what? Like, I could be limping down the street and, like, dragging my legs and, like, not able to, like stutter and, like, have problems. Like, who cares? Like, to, like, I don't know. There's this guy looking for a haircut. This guy is super tall. Sometimes does drugs. And then some of the cutest guys on here are on drugs. Dang it! But then again, some of these guys don't answer the questions. You could guess that maybe they're on drugs, or some guys don't answer questions because they don't fill out their profile all the way. All this guy has is a fresh tat. I'm like, so you see all these tats, and then you see this old guy, this old man, with who has a buff body, and you're like, so going back to the guy with the muscles, are there women? I think there are that say, oh my god, look at that guy's body. Woo-wee. I gotta have sex with him. Because that's the reciprocal of what I was getting today, as though I was, like, only looking for that. I was, like, telling something about my past. He goes, I don't care. You're pretty. And I was like, oh, right. Alright. You know, I don't think I'll ever hear from that guy again. I'm so tired of this website right now. Muscles, underwear, in the locker room mirror. This guy looks really unhealthy, and the only thing he's showcasing is his blue eyes. Or his blue eyes, sorry. He looks like super unhealthy. He was born without melanin in his eyes. I was born with a whole heck of a lot of melanin in my eyes. So, I just feel like we're all so vain. Like, this picture is not good. Well, you can see no shirt on, sweating. Some of those pictures just weird me the heck out. It doesn't look healthy. You have to be careful when you like people that you kind of have like, because then if they paid for the like list, we're gonna get like an email or something. I don't know what they get because I don't pay for it. I'm skimming this one. I'm about to fall asleep. Skimming, I don't recommend either, guys. Because you're like, oh, I'm filming. I don't have time. This guy's, I was like, is he only looking? I was like, oh, I don't have time. 39 starts with the letter A. Do you ever think you see married people on this website, on this dating website, and you're like, wait, I know that guy. He was talking about his wife last time I talked to him. Like, maybe they're not together. I don't know, but, you're just like, I'm just like, pass. I was like, I thought that guy was cute. I didn't see a wedding ring, and I was on a wedding ring, and I was like, dude, I'm single. Like, hey, honey, hey, sugar. And then you're like, oh, you said something about your wife. Never mind. This guy looks ticked off in that picture. I hate this. I hate when guys put scary pictures. You know what I'm gonna do? What I told somebody. I'm just gonna pass. I don't like they put something scary. This guy was showcasing his body. It doesn't say hookup. A lot of people say I don't want anybody bipolar. A lot of people say that. That's like disease, like diabetes, like that. Say type 1 diabetes. You didn't do it on purpose. But some people are maintained. So I have a hard time for people that say that. So I'm gonna pass. I know. I kind of know what they're talking about. Like they don't need I don't know. Like they don't need a lot of going back and forth and not being able to deal with somebody's emotions might be out of whack. But I don't know, it just weirds me out. Like it's a medical condition that you didn't choose. It's not like you're a tweaker and you're just acting like a tweaker, or you're like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Um, I think I wrote it in my planner. I have. Okay, I think this is what the dates were. Week 1, ego trip. So many likes and messages and fear. Ugh. 2, couldn't sleep, nightmares. 3, I left that blank. 4, soul searching. I don't know if week 3 was sex talk. People were just only wanting sex. So I never met with any of these guys because I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go over and just wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Like it's all or nothing. It's like, will I be single forever because I don't do that? And if I want a relationship or at least try dating, if I did that, would they even respect me enough to go out with me again? Or out with me in the first place? 4, soul searching. 5, red flags. 6, unconditional love. 7, I think I have my weeks mixed up. I think this is week 6. I thought I was doing I thought I was finishing unconditional love. I think I wrote this somewhere. Okay, week 7, heart, love, heart, romance, 2, comfort, and peace with sweaty palms. I don't remember when I wrote this one. I thought I had. I'm trying to remember what weeks I was going through. I wrote something yesterday in my journal. 1, adventure, ego trip. people like me, like me, 2, downer, my flaws and weaknesses, 3, sex, only physical, people are only searching for physical, 4, soul searching, 5, unconditional love. Yeah, so this should be, let's just make this on this one. Week 4 can be 2 things, soul searching and red flags. Because you're soul searching, you reach deep and you have a feeling it's not going to work. You don't want to just judge something because one thing they said in their profile, but I've tested that theory. Sometimes that one thing is it's like you have, the magician has one scarf. He has one scarf, and he pulls it out of his shirt, and then all of a sudden he has one scarf, he pulls it out of his shirt, and then he stuffs it somewhere, or like hides it behind someone's ear, and then the next thing you know, you're like pulling out a bazillion different scarves, and he just keeps going, and he's like throwing them around, and they're all knotted together, then all of a sudden he does something, and then they end up unknotted, and you're like, ooh, wow, I did it, Bunny in a hat, wow, abracadabra, you know. So it's like sometimes I test this theory. Oh, maybe they just wrote that, but maybe they're like, oh wait, does this profile look good? Wait, take some stuff out. You're scared someone. Don't let them know who you really are. But they leave like one thing, and then it turns, and you're like, oh, maybe it's just one thing. Maybe they didn't mean to write it. Maybe they're just being sarcastic. But then all these other red flags literally like come out after that, and then that one thing you're like, nah, no one's that much of a jerk. Then you message them, and they are so much more than a jerk than you ever realize. So then we'll make week 5. No, yeah, week 5 was unconditional love. I was socializing with some people through message and text, and this other guy I just read was talking about bipolar, and I was like, don't judge somebody, but sometimes I'm gonna send this message. I'm gonna send it hesitating. Okay, let's refresh. I was a real DJ. I had tons of records and equipment and had to flee. Situation, almost everything was left behind. I learned to spin from this guy in Michigan. I spent the summer hanging out with him. Records and to others' houses, learning more. A way long time. I would say many years ago I would spend at parties. Many years ago I would spend at parties in Portland. Very seldom or just for my own house. House party. So, I don't know why I'm talking to this guy. Hold on. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to fix this word. What the heck? I'm trying to... There is an I with a W. Or an N and a W. I need to get rid of the N and put a space there. Send. Ego trip. Couldn't sleep. Nightmares. Week 2 is actually supposed to be... What was week 2? Downer flaws. I saw all my flaws, but I always promised myself. I don't make a lot of promises, but I said, this is who I am, and this is where I am in my life, and take it or leave it, fella. And I did do a little bit of extra shaving of my body, my legs and stuff, but, you know, at work I had to wear long clothes, long pants, or whatever. Like summer, I miss summer. I would wake up and throw on a pair of shorts, or wake up in a pair of shorts and go to the grocery store. I was like, wow, my leg hair's so long, but my body hair is like so, like, it's like so little, like so, like, my arms and my legs, just like, it could be why I'm cold a lot. Like, I can see very little. Ego trip, couldn't sleep, nightmares, flaws, sex talk. So how guys want only sex, basically. Soul searching, and red flags are together, because that's when I wanted to actually... You don't have to dig too deep to find these red flags. They're obvious. That's why they're red flags. But you want to tuck them away and spray paint them white and say, truce, let's just hang out. And then it blows up in my face. And like, you knew that was going to happen. You were hoping that you were wrong, but your instinct and your gut told you that it was wrong. Unconditional love, that was from last Saturday to today. Today's Saturday. And that one is kind of being friends and talking to people and talking to dudes that I'm like, I'm not sure you're my type, and you had some kind of creepy pictures up, and I'm trying to be like, dude, why is your picture so creepy? They're like, IDK. Alright, you don't know, but, and then either they're super socially awkward, they had a mental disorder, which is not a problem, but if somebody was mentally handicapped, you have to be careful. Like, you don't want to take advantage or look like you're taking advantage of something. They could be, like, have a situation like autism or have a brain... I know someone had a brain injury, and they had a hard time stopping their words. They spoke their mind without thinking the consequences of how it would hurt someone's feelings, and that was caused from a car accident or injury, and an injury. So that's where I am right now. I don't know. This guy is talking about some stuff I don't understand. I feel like I was giving unconditional love, but then I have to know when to call it quits if the people start being super creepy. If they're even a little bit creepy, I need to call it quits. But I was trying to express friendship and unconditional love towards strangers on a dating website that wasn't necessarily, oh my god, I would love to meet this person in person. Like, some of these people are like, oh, let's meet. I can't tell from online and text when you're writing everything in acronyms. I don't understand you. Like, I don't know how you would communicate or be towards our chemistry. Wait, today's Saturday. So today is love, romance, and then I had added some more to here on week 7. Love and romance is a thing I shared on another video, which I shared on a bunch of videos on writing a novel or short love story. And that part of the story I couldn't write. And I literally this summer, since I don't date and I have a lot of energy, even if I say I don't, I'm like, oh, I'm in bed, I'm so tired. But my mind keeps going, my body's physically, like my jobs don't require tons of thinking. And I'm trained and educated as a thinker. And, so then my body's tired and my brain's still turned on. So then I'm up late. Well, I was writing a novel and I got stuck on the romance, love, unconditional love, even between people, because I wasn't raised in that type of environment and I didn't understand. So I rented library books. I borrowed library movies on love. A lot of things I watched and or read and or watched on YouTube were it wasn't that I was like one of the first stories my son picked it out. It was actually about a gay male couple. And he didn't pick it out, he just grabbed it off the shelf. He looked at it, he was like, oh. And I go, good. I'm taking it home and I'm watching it because I don't care what type of love it is. And I was like, I feel like I need to experience it. Because I was trying to take a week to write another chapter in my book that wasn't just about, oh, this couple met, oh, this couple worked, oh, this couple got intimate, oh, like, there wasn't a lot of feeling, and I didn't know, like, feelings or compliments. I had a chapter that was, like, turned into a big fight. Like, I know people arguing and fighting and not getting along, but what I know is not, like, a couple fighting is not that, but what I know is abuse and different types of fighting. I have to cut something out of my diet if I start to gain a lot of weight, and I have like a problem with. So it's been mostly the almonds that I eat. It's been a problem. So I've had to figure something out. I watched a lot of movies and you could see it through Hollywood. You could see couples look at each other on YouTube. Oh, this is how we met. No, wait, you forgot something. And you just see them like look at each other. There's like slap those arm, and you see a baby crawling into the camera angle, and you're just like, oh my god, that's like true romance, like love. But I haven't experienced it myself, whether unconditional love or romance. And I have no idea how it feels. I have no idea how it feels. The closest I can come is reading a love story and zoning out and feeling like the character who's blushing and they're chasing each other around, and then they're going to their parents' house because there's a tragedy, but then they're like, who is this handsome or beautiful woman, girl, handsome man? And then you read the book, you shut it off, and you're like, oh wait, back to reality. I am a black female single mom who's not being respected and who has a lot of people that don't desire me to be attractive enough to date or even meet up with, unless you're only looking for a hookup. So I'm reading this book right now, and I thought it was a bigger book, but it's a kid's book, and it's actually still taking me up. Sometimes I just don't want to finish reading a book. This is cute. This is like how I run my clinic, but I couldn't have done this in pioneer days because I'm black. I would have been a slave, or I would have not been able to been trained like the granny midwives and stuff. Like the white people are like, oh, now you have to go to school and be trained and do all this stuff and wear a uniform and have this ledger, you can't just deliver babies because you've been doing it since the dawn of time, straight out of Africa. Now you have to listen to white people, and then you can't deliver someone's baby unless the doctor signs this letter, and sometimes these people were getting called, or they didn't even have phones. Some people knock on the door, come quick, someone's having a baby, and she's too poor to hire a doctor. So then the lady would be like, I can't deliver a baby until this doctor signs it, and then she would go find a phone and call this guy and be like, you give me permission because this baby's head is almost out. Like I read some of these black granny southern midwives, and it's just like so ridiculous that what you're doing, starting out of Africa, ancient time, got civilization to where it is now. Whether they're Indo-European, Japanese, freaking Scandinavian, Russian, Native American, we all came from the motherland. Those medicines, and techniques, and how to turn a baby, and not how to use the C-section or antibiotics, what herbs to use and what poultices to use, and not having sutures, and how to deal with somebody's preemie baby, or all this stuff. It's because then you end up with people with the transmittable diseases, and the whole family's getting the yellow fever or something like the midwives and grannies, like, not only just taking care of this pregnant woman, but the whole family, because it's like now we're focused on this mom and baby, but everyone else can't be sick, or quarantine, all this, like, even cleanliness and all that stuff. Like, that stuff came out of the motherland, and it got passed down for thousands of years, but then it's like, no, you can't do that anymore. And then even now, as a naturopath, it's like, oh, you're a quack, and you're just like, what's your definition of quack? Because my patients, just like dating, like if someone meets me or takes a chance with me, then it's like, oh, you're really good at what you do. I'm going to do a number 3.